Hello there, Caelum here, and here we go with game number 1 after much delay of Keepers of Zeal versus Divided House. Divided House obviously going to be Radiant here. Keepers of Zeal going to be on the Dire team. So if we look at the first two bans here, we have Doom and Tusk coming out from KOZ. Divided House banning out the Wind Ranger. Doom and Tusk both really good laners, of course. Doom not so much anymore since he got that nerf, but still a strong presence, and of course the Doom, always hard to go against, the spell. Tusk, great ganker, talking about great gankers, there's a Night Stalker pick coming out from KOZ. Probably going to be run as a 4th slot, but still a great pick. Once minute 4 comes around, you'd better have wars up and you'd better have TPs and be ready to rotate, or else he will run you over. And it looks like we might see an IO Tiny strat coming in here from Divided House. IO Dazzle, interesting. This gives KOZ time to ban out some of those scary IO combo heroes like Tiny, Legion Commander, although that one's not exactly a usual one. Bristleback, Chaos Knight, and Ember Spirit. A smart mid pickup. If they are thinking of running IO something mid, Ember is really pretty good against that IO something combo. His Flame Guard should keep him alive from any magical burst damage that comes through, and his Sleight of Fist as well as Searing Chain should be able to harass that IO at least a little bit so that he's not comfortable staying in lane 100% of the time. We see the Night Stalker, what am I talking about? Shadow Fiend band coming out from Keepers of Zeal. A strong mid lane hero, probably just don't want to deal with him for their Ember Spirit. Slardar being banned by Divided House, another very strong laning hero. If I were them, I actually would have let that go through. A Slardar Dazzle lane can be really effective, and you never know. If they don't pick it up, then they don't pick it up, but at least you've got the chance to pick it up.
10 seconds to go.
And then there's the Tiny ban, as predicted. So if they can't go IO Tiny, then I'm going to guess IO isn't in the mid lane, and they're just going to have Ember Spirit go up against someone. Luckily, though, Wind Ranger, pretty hard mid matchup for Ember. So, and since that was already banned by Divided House, Ember's not much I'm seeing that's really going to be doing too much to inhibit this Ember Spirit's farming. And there's the Winter Wyvern ban. Winter Wyvern always a great hero against an IO combo. You just throw that ult on IO, and if they have any farm whatsoever, IO should die pretty quickly. Going into the next pick here, if I had to guess, I don't think they're going to pick their mid laner up until last because, well, unless they're worried about it being banned out in this next phase. But since they know that Ember Spirit's going to be the enemy mid laner, no need to rush to get that perfect mid lane hero. Should probably pick up one of their cores, or their carry here.
Reserve time.
Just to make sure they get a good one that they want. And there's Bristleback, so they probably look like they're going to go off lane. IO Bristleback, always a bad lane to be in. Bristleback does enough damage and control as it is. Add an IO to that, and he is basically unstoppable in the early game.
Seconds to go. 5 seconds.
We'll just wait on KOZ's pick, and they pick the Ancient Apparition. Honestly, not really sure why. He's a pretty strong laner, and, well, of course, his ultimate's going to cancel any IO healing, so that's going to make fighting a lot easier for them. Definitely going to be one of the big things they need to stay away from. The laning stage is going to be hard going up against this Bristleback, but also they need to make sure that they can fight effectively. And Ancient Apparition, as long as he's played well, should be able to do that for them. Also, although they probably weren't thinking about it, this also stops Divided House from picking an Alchemist, since he is a counter to Alchemist as well. So if they were thinking about going Alchemid, they couldn't do that now. I guess they still could, but it wouldn't be the smartest choice on their part. And Divided House is really taking their time here. If we're looking at the drafts just right now, I think Divided House has the obvious early game advantage. I mean, the Bristleback, Dazzle, Isle, they just have so much sustain. Bristleback is just such an insane tank early game. With the damage that Dire has right now, there's just nothing they can do in the first 10 minutes to kill this Bristleback, unless they have a good coordinated gank. They could kill other heroes like Io, obviously. At 4 minutes, I expect to see Io and Dazzle dying a lot. With a silence to each of them, there's nothing really they can do. I mean, Io's got his right clicks and he can run away, but without that tether to safety, it's just not good. And now we see a Luna pickup. Definitely not one of the more... not one of the... I don't know the word. I'm blanking. Not one of the most picked up carries in the meta, but she could be effective here. We'll just see how she's played. I mean, so far, if she needs to tank up pretty quickly, this Ancient Apparition ult is going to do quite the number to her. Ember Spirit's Flame Guard is going to protect him against most of the magic damage she throws out. Yes, her ult is magical. Yep, almost everything she has is, in terms of damage early game, is magical. Her big ult is magical, so that's not going to be taking down Ember Spirit very quickly. With a good silence from Night Stalker, she could be in trouble again. I just don't see the merit in this pickup. I guess if they could send one of their two supports jungle to start stacking and such, but I just still don't see the advantage in this. There's definitely better carries out there. Dire, I think they need to pick up a Legion Commander. Legion Commander is a great Bristleback counter. In lane, she can stay sustained with Press the Attack and whatever her counter ability is. And then once she hits level 6, obviously, Duel will force Bristleback to attack her from the front side, where all her team can just hit him on the front side as well. So, I mean, it's just a pretty obvious counter that I think they're completely looking over here. It is possible that maybe they don't have anyone who knows how to play Legion. Maybe they're not comfortable with Legion in this draft. Maybe this isn't a 4th position Night Stalker. Maybe they're running a core Night Stalker. And that's looking more and more like a 3rd position Night Stalker, actually. Which, I think that's just too much gold you're allowing Night Stalker. In this meta, Night Stalker he's not good enough to be a core. Does he get help with gold? Oh yeah. But all he really needs is points in his silence and time to ult, and he should be able to get kills. Can he carry? For the first 20 minutes of a game, yes. After that, the enemy's cores should be farmed up enough that whatever advantage he managed to amass is negligible to none at this point. The supports should be the only people he can shut down early. If you're playing your support right, you should be able to either, 1, make sure your core gets out if Night Stalker targets the core, or 2, sacrifice yourself, or at least do a good enough job drawing aggro away from your core that she gets to live.
Dire team ban.
And Night Stalker just doesn't do well enough late game. But we see the Animage ban out by Divided House. Smart ban. They have one single bit of lockdown, which is a 0.6 second stun. So not exactly the best for lockdown to go up against an Animage.
Reserve time.
Also possible that they could be thinking... Nope, never mind. I lied. I was going to say they could be thinking about a Medusa, but I'd say the odds of them going Medusa mid, not high. And there's an Earthshaker ban. So, I don't know why they ban Earthshaker. The other team has both their supports. They need a mid. They should have banned a mid. Oh well. Maybe they have some plan. Maybe they're running Night Stalker mid and a Puck pickup. Another one of those heroes you really don't see much of this meta. This is going to be one interesting game. And now we're just waiting on Keeper of Zeal's last pick. With their draft right now, I'd like to assume it's a carry, but for all we know, it could be their mid hero. I mean, just judging by the way this draft is gone, I think they're going offlane Night Stalker with a support Ancient Apparition, Vengeful Spirit supporting the safe lane, Ember Spirit mid, and Phantom Lancer. I was gonna say possible ban out of the Earthshaker because they plan on picking up Phantom Lancer. I just wasn't confident enough. Phantom Lancer, pretty good hero. I think he might struggle a bit in lane against this Bristleback. It's possible that he could also be countered in fights by the Bristleback as well, although he does counter Luna's ult, which is good. But anyway, enough about the draft. Let's get on to the game. Game 1 of Divided House versus Keepers of Zeal. Best of 3. Walking up the mid lane, we got two-step CEO on that Bristleback. Drucifer on the Luna. Ed is going to be playing your Puck. The Origin on that Io. And Dinosaurs Are Better on Dazzle. If we go over to look at the Dire, we got Prepation on your Ancient Apparition. Non-Compliance on Vengeful Spirit. Captain Morgs on your Ember. Dwarves SC on your Phantom Lancer. And I'm going to go ahead and assume he means 7 on Night Stalker. Look at their runes. It looks like they're going to go... Most Keepers of Zeal is going to go for that bottom rune. Dwarves FC, the PL, the only one headed top rune. He's going to scout out 2 of them and just not want to go for that at all. Meanwhile, Ancient Apparition going uphill, getting a little aggressive. The stun comes out from Luna. Dazzle, all she has is heal. In comes the Night Stalker, throwing out his thing. I haven't played Night Stalker in so long. Throwing out his Void. And it looks like the runes are going to go to Ember and Puck, respectively. Looking at these lane matchups, I can only assume that... No. This is going to be an aggressive tri-lane. So this solo lane Phantom Lancer is really not going to have a good time. Against an Io and a Bristleback, he is going to have some trouble. Io does not even have to worry about being harassed in this lane. And Dire Courier dead. What happened there? Where was that? Mid lane getting sniped out by Puck as it delivers something to this Ember Spirit. What a terrible way to start the game. Unlucky there. Keepers of Zeal, great job buying wards. They've got this ward here, blocking this camp and placing and giving them a little bit of vision here. This ward, okay, I lied. This ward doesn't block any camp. This ward is, they have the magic ward bush warded, blocking both those camps. And right now it's a solo lane Venge, but it looks like it's going to be Night Stalker Venge down here. Which is not a bad lane, with Ancient Apparition, Phantom Lancer top. So this is going to be better now that Ancient Apparition can effectively get some harass off here. He's going to have to be careful because he doesn't exactly hit super hard. And I mean, with this Bristleback, yep, it is what's called Bristleback. Hey, I got that one. With this Bristleback up on Bristleback, along with his Quill Spray, that's going to be pretty hard for him to effectively harass. But there we go, doing what any good support would do, pulling for his carry, making sure that lane equilibrium stays closer to the tower. Bristleback almost out of mana, and that is when you know you've won the lane. When you've reduced your PL to trying to last hit with Phantom Lance, it's just not a good time. If we take a look at the last hits, we got 9, 10 lead on Ember Spirit mid, 9 on Bristleback and Luna respectively, a 6 on Puck, and coming up next is Phantom Lancer at 2. Just really not looking like the best time for Phantom Lancer top. This is going to be a really hard lane, and if I had to guess, this is where First Blood is going to happen. You never know. We got a Night Stalker down bot coming in with a double damage here. Let's just go ahead and see what goes down here. He's just going to walk into lane and harass him back. Dazzle and Luna just both throwing out right clicks. Night Stalker right-clicking down a creep. He needs to get out. Venge throws the stun. Some right clicks come through. And wow, she took a lot of damage. Good thing Dazzle's there with that heal. Venge hits really hard. Well, that would explain it. Going 2 levels in Vengeance Aura. See, I don't like this at all. It really pushes your lane. And my god, did I call it or what? Definitely not who I thought would be on the receiving end of that first blood. But the first blood nonetheless. Io gets taken out by Phantom Lancer, and Phantom Lancer quickly there by Bristleback. Meanwhile, back in mid lane, Puck throwing out the Illusory Orb. Just a bit of harass damage, nothing too serious. Spirit attempting to deny as well. Not really doing too much, but definitely leading farm. Meanwhile, back on bottom lane, Night Stalker. We see another ward up here. It's a pretty good ward. I mean, if you're playing as aggressive as these guys are now, that ward isn't really helpful because of the vision it provides. I mean, you're looking in here, down here, and wow, I'm just missing all the kills. Ember Spirit diving a wee bit to kill Puck, and now it's nighttime. We get to watch this Night Stalker go to work. Before Venge in lane. The creeps are there. They could dive this, but no, Night Stalker accidentally aggroed the wave. Now they're going to have to wait for another wave to push through. Vengeful Spirit going up to help out Night Stalker, and there's Dazzle. Dazzle could be dead here if Night Stalker, just run to the Dazzle. Here he comes, but oh, it's too late. There's the Luna too. Night Stalker needs to be careful here. He's caught out. Dazzle has heal and grave, as well as poison touch. He could be dead. Nope. There comes out the Luna stun again. Night Stalker's just going to keep running. Picks up an illusion rune. Here comes Vengeful Spirit on the back line. And it doesn't look like she's going to be able to do much. But she meets Luna around the corner. Throws Vengeance. That's not called Vengeance Aura. Throws Wave of Tear. She gets stunned. Poison touched. Throws her stun. Right clicks come through. The Dazzle heal comes through. There goes the shallow grave. Dazzle's right clicking down Venge. Luna right clicking down Venge. Just run, Venge. You shouldn't be there. And a 1-for-1 trade on the bot lane. With Bristleback diving for this Phantom Lancer. Just like what I said, this is going to be a really, really hard lane for Phantom Lancer. And Night Stalker just keeps going for this Dazzle. Can he do it? I don't know, but he needs to get back right now because there's Io with the save. What a play from Io. Way to teleport in, and even if it's just a support, that's definitely worth helping him out. But now he's got to be careful. Night Stalker, no points in silence here. I'd say that is a huge mistake. And one more click and he is going to be going down. And there it is. Io, the rotation in to save Dazzle, but overextending just a little bit. And that's exactly what you don't want to do against a Night Stalker. You could have just saved Dazzle and gotten out, and that would have been a perfectly good opportunity. But, so back up top, that would have been a perfectly good opportunity. You saved him, that's all you needed to do. But instead, Io went aggressive, a huge mistake there, and it cost him his life. Also going to be a solo Bristleback here for a while. Not that he cares when the right clicks do less than 50 damage to him. And just one Quill Spray coming out on this Ancient Apparition. One Quill Spray and right click doing so much. The only reason they're not completely phased out of this lane right now is because Bristleback just doesn't have mana. He's just not even afraid. He's coming right up, getting right next to it. And here comes Night Stalker. But once again, walking straight at him. Bristleback, one Quill Spray. In comes Night Stalker, and in comes the Io. Io going to be getting up some mana to that Bristleback. Tether disconnects, but it doesn't matter. They're going to go on Io again. Io dead. Now without Io, it's a possibility that they go to Bristleback. Phantom Lane's thrown. Void thrown. Right clicks coming through. Doppelgang used as well. More Quill Sprays coming out. Phantom Lance, and it connects. Bristleback getting killed. Night Stalker and Phantom Lance are extremely low after that engagement. Night Stalker is able to buy up his power treads. And Venge getting killed bot. Ember Spirit going in, but just a moment too late, I'd say. In come the Ember Chains, in come the right clicks, but there's the Shallow Grave, and it's pointless to keep on chasing Ember. What are you doing? You just gotta get out. Learn the lesson from the Venge. No! Ember! Why? Feeding his life again. If there's a lesson that anyone could learn from this, it would definitely be, don't dive too far. This play here, right here, that was good. He got Dazzle down low, he graved himself. Dazzle's going back to base at that point. Basically. It's safe to assume. Io killed top again. Phantom Lancer looks like diving tower, judging by this illusion. This Io has to be careful. Someone on the other team has to be with Io at all times. And there's Night Stalker getting hit by Puck mid lane, but the Void and Phantom Lance are thrown out, and he does not care at all. In comes Bristleback, and Night Stalker, you gotta run, bud. Bristleback will make sure you never see the moonlight again. Luckily, he's got Ancient Apparition there to save him, but will Bristleback care? Not at all. Ancient Apparition, no boots. Void thrown out to slow him down. Chilling touch. In comes Ember Spirit with the Ember Chains. Night Stalker, get out of there. A few more right clicks and you're dead. In comes the Io, though, with the heals, and they really can't do anything with Io healing him up like that. Just some great Io play there. When he's not out of position, when he's not getting picked off, he is playing a really effective Io. TP coming in from Puck. And Venge. Looks like she's having a bit of trouble down here in this lane. She's got to be careful. Luna's farming, and that's really not what you want. Phantom Lancer, can Phantom Lancer beat Luna late game? Oh yeah, of course. But, do you want to make it easier or harder for him? Obviously, easier. And Puck throws out the, I have no idea what that's called, orb. Silences as well, and Bristleback is able to get him with one last Quill Spray to finish him off. Ember Spirit, chaining, Sleight of Fist and chains to attempt to do anything, but he just can't get it off. There's Luna back down bot. Vengeful Spirit in here along with Night Stalker. Night Stalker going to find Dazzle in the jungle. Dazzle scouts him out as well, so this may be a failed gank. Meanwhile, Phantom Lancer, you better run. Bristleback is coming for blood. Oh, maybe not. Just going to push the wave. Back down bot. Dazzle on the run. Creeps being pulled out? Don't know why, but they are. Luna and Dazzle just playing it smart, staying back, staying safe. Could they take them on? I think they could. But is it smart to just stay safe? Yes, absolutely. Night Stalker, rotating for that rune. Dazzle, sending out the right clicks to Venge. The stun comes out, Luna's dead, the Shallow Grave is just too late. Here comes Puck with a haste rune, Dream Coil down. Silence and Orb as well thrown out. Night Stalker taking some damage, but just not enough. The coil off. Night Stalker attempts to go for it. Io comes in. Bristleback comes in, and they're just going to be forced to run. There goes the Orb again, and everyone's just going to back out. One for nil trade. Luna for nothing. But Phantom Lancer going in again. Phantom Lancer, you need a team here, bud. Bristleback will mess you up, especially with Io attached to him. He has nothing in the terms of healing, but still, not something you want to just be messing around with. Dazzle and Puck continuing. And at this point in time, Radiant has all 5 heroes in the jungle. Go ahead and look at last hits and denies again. Ember and PL are up top now. PL obviously coming back after that huge early game disadvantage. Getting a bit of farm in his lane after that Io left and after that Bristleback gank. Really helped him out as well. Bristleback, though, staying even with him despite being killed a few times. He also has a few kills himself. We can find net worth. There we go. Stun comes out onto Bristleback. That's all the mana she had. And it's nighttime in 10 seconds. Night Stalker, no points in his silence, though. That's a huge mistake. It may only last for 3 seconds a day, but go ahead and look at that nighttime duration. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 point in that gives you a longer silence than most silences in the game. That's longer than Silencer's ultimate. Just one single point in that. Puck getting an invisibility rune down bot. Gonna bottle it up. Yep, use it immediately. Throw a bottle charge on herself. Night Stalker coming down as well. Just not able to get there in time. Io Bristleback mid. Venge could swap, but it's not really going to do anything unless she swaps the Io. Swapping Bristleback means Io just tethers to him. Swapping anyone actually just means Io tethers to them. And it's just not going to be an easy kill with Io there healing him up. Ember looking at that top rune. Nope. Bristleback just sitting back. Io getting some last instant experience. Io really needs to hit his level 6. Once he gets level 6, him and Bristleback can basically become a global killing squad. Nightstalker, level 6, down bot against this Luna and Dazzle. Needs to be careful. He doesn't have enough killing power to kill both of them. Even kill one of them, I think. He's going to need another teammate down here to help him out. But Ancient Apparition pushing top. Did he just throw out his ult? Yes, he did. But where? I don't know. Mid, I think it hit Io. Ember Spirit doing some farming in the jungle. PL also doing some farming in the jungle. That's good. Venge, Nightstalker, both just delaying. Getting some time for their cores to farm. But Venge is going on under bottom tower. Bristleback connected with Io. There's no slowing him down, especially with those Quill Spray stacks. One more Quill Spray, one more right click, and she's done. Io going through. Down bottom, Luna killing Nightstalker as well. Pings come out into the jungle where they went up. Ember Spirit with the regen rune. Oh, that's a great pickup. Io would have gotten that one. That's another guaranteed kill. There's Phantom Lancer farming a stack. Io may be picked off here. And in comes the Ancient Apparition ult. Shallow grave, but it's not going to last long enough to keep him safe from this ult. Ember Spirit going after Dazzle. A great kill there. Phantom Lancer also killing Bristleback, but Bristleback getting revenge on that Ancient Apparition for killing his Io. Back down bot, Venge and a solo Luna. If Nightstalker comes down bot, which it looks like he's going to do, here's their chance. This is how they kill solo Luna. They have no ward vision in this area whatsoever. Venge needs to not go quite so aggressive. They pushed her under tower. Venge has swap. Finally, Nightstalker has a point in his ult. And there we go. There's the... Not the void. There's the silence. They're diving. They don't care whatsoever. In comes the TP from Io. In comes the... Venge is stunned. In comes Luna's ult just doing work. Io keeping her alive. I think a huge mistake there is Venge needed to throw the stun at Luna as opposed to Io. If she would have thrown it at Luna, it would have prevented her ult from going off a little longer, and it also would have been that little bit of damage that they probably could have killed Io with. Phantom Lancer mid finally has his Diffusal Blade. In comes the ultimate from Ancient Apparition, and there's another kill on Puck. This Ancient Apparition really doing work with that ultimate. 2 kills already. Bristleback, farming top. Not a care in the world. We saw him get picked off by Phantom Lancer, but I think that might have been a Phantom Lancer Ancient Apparition combo, not just Phantom Lancer. Bot, we have Venge down bot. Again, the swap under tower range, the stun. Tower is now hitting her. Out comes the Wave of Terror, and the right clicks in from Venge, but it's just not enough. Luna turns around, stuns, and just walks away. Not today, Venge. They really need to get a successful gank off on this Luna. Luna going again. Now his lifesteal. Venge right-clicking. It's a right-click battle. Ancient Apparition throws his thing as well, but she's dead. Luna takes another stun, getting right-clicked down by creeps, and Ancient Apparition is going to fall. Nightstalker pops Darkness as well. Phantom Lancer needs to be careful. He's being dived on by basically the rest of their team. He needs to get out, and he does. The relocate from Io Bristleback. He goes back in. He just needs to doppelgang out. In comes the orb from Puck. The silence could be there, and he doppelgangs out. Nightstalker just needs to run now. 2, 1, and they are back right in front of Nightstalker. Nightstalker, you gotta run! And Phantom Lancer just teleports out. That's one huge problem with this team. The only lockdown they have is Puck's Dream Coil, I guess Silence if you're scared of mobile heroes, and of course Luna's 0.6 second stun, as we've already discussed. Phantom Lancer, really nothing to worry about when he's diving stuff like that. Ember Spirit top farming, you gotta get out of there, and just Remnants away. That was a 3-hero rotation. Pretty good rotation there. Night Stalker farming mid. He's just got to get some health up, but here comes Luna, throws out the stun. She keeps diving, possibly activate her ult, but nope, she gets voided. Silence, Night Stalker going in a right-click battle. That's definitely not what you want to do. She stuns again, keeps running, no cares in the world. Right-clicks, one more right-click's going to do it. Night Stalker keeps running. Can she make it? And there goes the Phantom Lance, there goes the stun, but she's going to trade her life for it. Phantom Lancer managing to keep her, or to right-click her down after she dove. 1-for-1 trade, but Luna for Night Stalker, 100% worth it in that situation. And there's Io. Io, what are you doing? You don't have anywhere to go, bud. And Io, a quick pickoff. Once again, Io, great plays this game. He's saved Luna. He's been doing great with Bristleback, but just plays like that where you're positioned way far away from your team and you can just easily get picked off. Just not something you want to do. Divided House manages to take top tower. Keepers of Zeal roaming around in the jungle. They've got some wards up. There's the aggressive one there to keep watching the tower, and up near the big camp is this ward again to watch rotations in and through lane. It looks like they're trying to go on middle tower. In comes the TPs from Dazzle. In comes the walk-in from Io. It's a 4v2 right now, 4v3. Of course, no one's there. Puck just walks away. Ancient Apparition all misses. And here's a double damage on Ember Spirit. They should probably make something out of this. Lane pushing in top, though, and Divided House pushing in mid. It's not going to be a super good trade for them here. A tier 2 for possibly a tier 2 and a tier 1. Well, there's definitely the tier 1. Ancient Apparition teleports top to save that. A good call. So a tier 2 for a tier 1, definitely worth it. But this tier 2 is under attack as well. They're going to push it for a tier 3, it looks like here. They can do it. Knight's up in 10 seconds? 15 seconds-ish. Night Stalker throwing out right clicks. And they're a tier 1 and a tier 2 for a tier 2. Definitely not worth it there. Luna stun thrown out. Ember Spirit does no damage to him because of that flame guard. TPs are coming back, and it is now nighttime. Luna stun thrown out. Night Stalker needs to run. They're super fast now. Vengeful Spirit and Bristle back here. Venge stunning the Bristle, running out, getting Luna stunned. Right click down. Vicious Nasal Goo coming out, and Bristle back. He's going to be able to finish that one off with a Quill Spray. Night Stalker running over to the ruins, manages to pick himself up in Invis, but what's this going on mid? Ember Spirit getting going on by Bristle. The stun gets thrown out, but he remnants away. Easy escape there. 3 seconds on Ancient Apparition's ult. Phantom Lancer farming jungle. There, pings come out to defend the tier 3, and in comes Invisible Night Stalker. This is going to be great. If he doesn't go too early, he can make sure that Io gets killed before the fight, and that's the key to beating this team. If Io gets picked off, it's going to be really hard for them to do much. There we go. The uphill push has started. And he's on the back line, but no one even seems to see him. Io just running away. In comes the Luna ult. In comes the Luna stun, and Night Stalker's dead before he can even do anything. Granted, Io's forced out, but he's just waiting there on the back line. He has no regen, though, to help out his team. In comes Ember Spirit. There's the stun on the Bristleback. Puck comes through with the orb. Phantom Lancer doppelgangs away. And down goes Luna from right clicks. Io manages to relocate out Bristleback. Bristleback just keeps running towards the fight. Not quite sure what Io's doing. Io's about to come back. Almost right on top of... Oh, nope, right on top of Ember Spirit. In come the chains. In comes the Phantom Lance. Out goes the Venge Stunt. And Io falls instantly. So, Night Stalker for Io and Luna. Definitely a good trade in Keepers of Zeal's favor. This is going to be a hard game, but they can definitely pull it back. This Bristleback definitely did a lot of work early game, but he's starting to fall off now that he can't get as many Quill Sprays and Nasal Goos out. In a fight, once all of Phantom Lancer's illusions start going on Bristleback, it's really not that easy for him to be able to just run away from it. Quick Diffusal charge as well, I think. Purges off his ult. which means all his extra ability is taken away as well, and he becomes almost next to useless. Ember Spirit picks off Luna mid lane, I guess. Not sure where, but it happened. More aggressive warding coming out. I'm surprised the tower can't see that, actually. Really smart ward placement here. Gonna be able to watch all of this behind the tier 2 tower, so when they do decide it's time to take that, they'll be able to watch all the heroes back in here. Puck throws out the orb, kills most of the wave. Ember Spirit doesn't care. Goes in goes in with Sleight of Fist and just starts right-clicking the tower. Flame Guard up, running at the creep, starts to right-click, in goes the Sleight of Fist again. Dazzle ult comes out, Puck orb is thrown, but he just remnants away. Ping's coming out from Roche. No one's doing Roche. Possible they want to got going on Roche. Night Stalker sitting in the jungle, as well as Phantom Lancer. Top being pushed by Io Bristleback. Almost called him Io Tiny. This could be a great play here. Nope, never mind. This tower isn't low enough on health. If they force TPs or force a rotation to this tower, they can always just back off, relocate down bottom, and go to that. Nasal Goo and stuns coming out. The stun from Venge, the silence from Night Stalker. Io healing him up. Ancient Apparition ult coming in, but just not enough. The silence is off, and Io manages to TP them out. Here we go. We'll see if it's another replay of the last Io comeback. Io just going to bring himself. And there he is. But he manages to make it out. He's invisible. You can't tell, but he's shadow amuleted. Now he just has to wait. It's time for them to play the waiting game. Ember Spirit pings come out. They don't know where he went. They're not sure what happened. Night Stalker staying near. Pinging straight on top of himself. Bristleback running. Io. He's about to tether out. Bristleback unspotted. There's the tether range, and Io's out. A beautiful play by Bristleback. Did Night Stalker even see that? Night Stalker's still standing there. I'm not sure if he's been fooled or not. We'll see how long he stands there. Meanwhile, Keepers of Zeal pushing in mid. Divided House pushing bottom. Io, full bottle, full Bristleback. It's looking like trouble for these heroes mid. If Io can keep his positioning up, it's not going to be easy. Bristleback taking stacks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
Meanwhile, they're pushing mid. Dazzle gets a Phantom Lance thrown at him. It's going to be hard for him to go do anything. He threw out his ult, but it's not going to do much when you're not actually hitting the enemies. But the Ancient Apparition ult comes out. Will it hit? And yes, it does. Venge, now's your time. Now's your time, Venge. Go! She is simply not fast enough to catch that Luna. And Luna's going to TP out and be just fine. Venge would have been on top of that. I would have loved to watch her throw a stun and for Luna to just instantly melt. Ember Spirit, they catch out Io. In comes the Grave, saving Io. Also Puck's Dream Coil. Out comes Dazzle's ult. Luna stun. Luna ultimate possibly. Nope, Luna's dropping. Dropping fast. Phantom Lancer right clicks just keep coming out. Phantom Lancer now retargeting onto Bristleback. Bristleback walks straight into Ancient Apparitions ult. Doppelgangs. Bristleback pops BKB and walks out. Night Stalker also going in, but going to be stepping back as well. Phantom Lancer doing quite a lot of work there. Ember Spirit diving, but dropping a remnant and just TPing out. Venge, I've seen her use swap once. Phantom Lancer, Manta's out of the silence. Doppelgangs away from the Bristleback. In comes the heal from Night Stalker. In comes the stun, and they're right-clicking just barely in time to save him. Beautiful triple kill coming out. Dazzle shallow graved himself, but it's not going to stop Ember Spirit. He jumps in. Swap comes out. Dazzle in the backline drops his ult, but it doesn't matter. They're going to kill him off anyway, and there's a team wipe coming out on the side of Keepers of Zeal. Beautiful play there, starting off the two pickoffs here with Luna and Io up on the top, and then continuing with the fights in here. Bristleback overextending just a little bit. Night Stalker using nighttime. I really like that. That's the first time I think I've actually seen him. And in comes the silence. Luna slowed And GG is called by the Bristleback. They just don't think they can do it. And that's game one.